Hey guys, welcome to my video. This is today's look. It's very Valentine's. Here are my bangs. Because I went through a little midlife crisis and I decided to get bangs. If you like this, then just keep on watching. I already kind of primed my face. I'm wearing makeup already because I went out for today. I had school. So I wore mascara and primer and lip gloss. I'm gonna jump into this tutorial because let's be real, that's why you're here. So I'm gonna prime my eyelids with my Tarte Shape Tape and get some in my bangs because, you know, that's what you're supposed to do, right? And they're not gonna stay out of the way. And I'm gonna blend in my concealer. I have this cute little mirror. It's cute, it's a compact mirror thingy. I love it. I think it's adorable. It's bedazzled. It's cute. I love it. Okay, these bangs need to be pinned back. Alright, now that that is pinned back, my bangs aren't all in my eyes. I love them, don't get me wrong. I think they look cute, but they're really hard to do makeup with. So next, I'm going to set my eyes. I'm going to take this Wet n Wild brush, the dirty one, go into my Modern Renaissance palette, my really beat up Modern Renaissance palette. And we're going to go into the shade Tempura, I think. I love this eyeshadow with all my heart. Once it's all set, then we move on to, so I'm going into the Morphe 35B, going to this shade. This is going to be our transition color. I'm going to take that, go right in with it, and you don't want this look to be super like winged out. You want it to be kind of rounded, windshield wiper motions. Okay, once you have that nice gradient, I went back into the Morphe 35B, go into this shade, use this to deepen up the crease a little. Just take that like a little bit lower than that other color. You want this to be a super blended look because it's kind of like a smoky eye. Like a halo smoky eye. And next, go back into the Modern Renaissance palette. We're gonna go into Love Letter. Take it on a fluffy brush. Same brush. I've been using the Sedona Lace EB13 this whole time, but really any fluffy brush will do. I'm gonna take that lower than I took that other shade. I'm gonna put it in the outer corner and pat it on more than swipe because that'll get you more color. And right now we're trying to pack on some pigment, but in a very blended way. And then I swipe it back and forth once I have like no product left on my brush. And I'm going to take that same color, I'm going to put it on the inner corner too. How intense you want this is really just based on personal preference. I wanted mine pretty intense, so I'm going to make mine pretty dark. I also went into the Morphe 35B and I went into this shade to brighten it up a little bit because that Love Letter color, it's beautiful, but it's a little dark. And this just helps make it kind of pop and make it more pink and Valentine-y. Just put that basically in the same spots that you put Love Letter. Make sure you blend it really good. And then I'm going to go back into Love Letter in the Modern Renaissance palette. Pack that on a little more. I like to take the Anastasia brush that like came with the Modern Renaissance palette, and I like to go into Love Letter with the flat side. Grab some of that and I like to pack it on. Really just intensify the color. Then I'll take the fluffy side and I'll just kind of blend out the edges a little. And make sure you leave like that little spot blank because I have no product on this. I'm gonna make sure all the edges are blended. Okay, now that I have that, the Blink Electric Eyes palette, and I went into this color. It's like a cranberry shimmer. I understand not everyone can afford BoxyCharm, so obviously you can use any like cranberry shimmer shade. So I took that on a brush, and you're gonna have quite a bit of fallout with this. It's pretty fallout-y color. It's gorgeous though. So just do your eyes first. when you use this. And I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it right on the center that we left blank. And if you want to increase the shimmer factor, you can take a little bit of eyeshadow on your brush, spray the brush, and then pack it on, and it just intensifies it like crazy. There's tons of fallout, and maybe that's because I used too much on my brush, I don't know, but there's a lot. So I did like 2 sprays on that, and I put a little bit of eyeshadow on this brush. This is the e.l.f. smudge brush. It's a really old, it's like the first eyeshadow brush I ever bought. You're just gonna pack that on the center of your lid. This is the Bella Pierre Cosmetics Gel Eyeliner in Ebony. It's pretty good for this purpose. It's not my favorite. I really prefer the Marc Jacob. It's so good. But it also costs a pretty penny, and this got sent to me in my BoxyCharm, so I'm willing to use this until I can afford the Marc Jacobs pencil. It does transfer after a while, so if you're really looking for a long wearing one, I'm not sure this is it. So I take a makeup wipe and I clean up underneath. And I'm not going to create a sharp line. I don't really want a sharp line. I want it to be pretty smoky, but I want the underneath of my eye to be pretty clean. For now, we are going to take the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter, Soft Matte Pro Filter. Just take a pump of that. I already have some on, but I've been wearing it all day, so I imagine it's not really there anymore. I'm gonna blend that into my skin. Without a good primer, your makeup will look bad. No matter how good, you could have the most expensive foundation on the planet, but if you have a crappy primer, you might as well buy $2 foundation. Not that there's anything wrong with $2 foundation. You buy what you can afford. This is usually where I put on concealer. I don't like to put it on my forehead. It gets really cakey on my forehead for some reason. I can't figure out how to make it not cakey. So I just kind of avoid like putting it on there directly. And I don't really like to wear foundation very much. So, and I have pretty decent skin. So what I usually do is I use the Tarte Shape Tape as my foundation. I just kind of like put it all over, basically where you would put concealer normally, but just like a little bit extra so I can spread it around. And I'll take whatever's left on the sponge and I'll put it on my forehead. Next, I'm going to take my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is before they had more shades, so it's just like bronzer, like the original shade. It smells so good. I'm just going to put a little bit. We're not going to put a whole lot because we're going to be putting a ton of blush on later. And then I'm going to do my eyebrows next, mostly because I forgot to do them initially. And this is the IT Cosmetics Brow Powder Pencil in Universal Taupe. It's pretty good. I like it. It blends out nicely, which I like because I like a really natural brow most of the time. I can never get my eyebrows even. I don't know why. Like this one always ends up thinner than this one, and this one has like a weird like dippy thing in it. Even when I get them done. So that's just my life forever. Okay, this is the same one I used when I did this originally, which is kind of nasty, but I stuck it on my vanity. It's been there ever since. So what we're gonna do now is cut out a little like tape heart, and I just placed it right here, kind of like where a teardrop might fall, and it looks like there's like stuff all over it, but it's on this side, not the side that the tape is on. And I took this crown brush, doesn't appear to have a name, but it's like a blush brush. It's like a really dense blush brush. So it's meant to like pack on some color. And I'm going into the Real Her Be Fearless, Be Limitless blush kit. And I'm going to go into Fearless and Limitless. I'm going to mix them. I'm just going to start packing that. Where I would normally put blush, but I'm just going to put a lot more on than normal. And kind of focus around the heart a little bit. And once you got like a good amount on, you're gonna go back into the Modern Renaissance palette, and you're gonna take like a really big eyeshadow brush. I took this one, the Luxie 205 Taper Blending, and I went into Love Letter. And I didn't take a whole bunch on it, just a little bit. Focus that kind of around the heart a little more to kind of make it pop. And then obviously blend it out. Once you feel like it's blended enough, take the heart off, reveal a little heart. I'm gonna do that on the other cheek, and then I'll be right back. Sometimes I like to soften them up a little bit so they're not quite so harsh. So this one's a little softer because I went over it. You can leave them harsher if you like. I like them a little softer, I think. Go back in with the eyeshadow brush, and I'll go into Fearless, and I'm gonna take that on my nose. Give it kind of a cutesy little look. You can go in with a natural highlighter, just make it kind of like naturally glowy. I didn't want to do that, obviously. So I went into the Anastasia Moonchild palette. Take Pink Heart. I took it on eyeshadow brush just because I feel like it concentrates it more. And I'm going to put that on my nose. Cupid's bow. I'm going to take some on my finger. I'll put it on my inner corner. Take some back on that brush, go under the brow bone. And then for my cheek, I want more natural. It's the Pure Cosmetics Bronze and Brighten Dreamer, I think. This highlighter, oh my god, is to die for. I don't love the bronzer, and the blush is alright. It's really, really pigmented. Which I don't normally go for unless I'm doing a look like this. On a more dense little, I think this is technically a concealer brush. Yeah, it's the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, but I use it for highlighter a lot. I'll take it on that brush, pack that on. Face is done. I go in with mascara, and I already have some on, so I'm not gonna like cake it. The Pure Cosmetics lashes in Bombshell. I've worn them a lot, so they're kind of gross. I need to buy new ones. Oh, they're $12. And I don't have $12 to spare because I just bought a film camera for $100. Just like on a whim because I saw it and I wanted it. Even though I'll probably like never use it. So yeah, just saw it on Craigslist. I was like, you know what? I need that. And I did not need it whatsoever, but you know how you get that feeling. You're like, I need this item or I will die. And that's the feeling I had, even though I very much so would have lived had I not had this camera. It's a nice camera, but I'm an impulse buyer, if you couldn't tell. I have an issue with it. I'm not ashamed of it. It's who I am. So I take this like little Sephora thingy majiggy. Okay, well they're on a little lopsided, but they're on. And last but not least, lipstick. And I feel like this is what really completed the look. You could just slap on some like pretty pink lip gloss. But I really love this. I've been looking for them, but I think Japanesque discontinued this. Sadly, it's my favorite lipstick formula. It's like a brush tip, which is kind of not my favorite, but this formula, oh my god, it's like a satin. It's a lip lacquer. It's a satin, but it doesn't like come off like a satin. Also, this color, like the perfect raspberry color. I'm obsessed. I've been thinking about like what I'm gonna wear to prom already, and almost definitely this is going to be the lipstick. I could wear it all day, every day. I wish it was a little less like transferable because it does kind of get everywhere. If you're not careful, like initially, it's really, really wet, but then it kind of like dries a little. It's not as wet. I'm really nitpicky, about this kind of stuff. How do you guys feel about Post Malone? I like his music. He has a very unique look though. Definitely not mainstream. That's enough nitpicking.